You guys have the tea. We just clocked it, and we're gagged.
Off the press. We were
Right.
going to do our All Stars 5 episode 2 show. We were getting ready and all that. And then I texted Ron right away. I go, did you get in this Tyra Sanchez tea? And he was like, what, hoo-ha? So I basically read it off to him because I do this Zoom from a computer. He does it from a phone. So he couldn't even get to all this. So basically, we're just going to experience this together.
We're going through the journey together, guys.
Because it is a lot. Like, it is a lot. She quits drag, becomes a man, comes for Raven. It's, ooh, Lord.
Well, let's get into it, honey.
Yeah, that's really, okay.
My goodness.
Oh, oops. Okay, hold on.
There we go. We're getting it together.
Getting it together. Like I said, fresh off the presses.
Right, honey, this is new.
I just put this together in about 10 seconds. Okay. Tyra Sanchez loses her damn mind again.
Again, honey.
Queerty and Dragaholic said the winner of RuPaul Drag Race Season 2 quits for good, tells fans to forget me. Now, below is the kind of most current picture of him. What would you call that hairstyle, Ronald?
Well, they're braids.
Braids with the beard, the faux pimp coat, and then is now going by the names James Ross.
His real name.
Yeah, I don't know if that's his real name. I really don't.
Isn't it? Oh, I just assumed, but
I really have no idea.
But I'm gagging how he says quits drag for good, as though we didn't make that decision for him.
Right, because he's alluded to whatever.
But it's just like, honey, you know, we said you quit. We made you quit because he
couldn't get
doing any gigs.
He couldn't do a brunch gig in Orlando, Florida at this point.
Right.
So there's no place that's going to welcome him anywhere. Actually, since he is choosing to be a man again, we should actually stick to the pronoun he.
Yes, that's true.
He is not one of the girls.
Yes, no. He is not one of the girls, especially after the little glimpse of what you told me he said.
Yeah, so we're going to have to definitely make a conscientious not to use she, because that is just offensive to the drag community.
Right.
Anybody who identifies feminine or trans.
Right.
Anything like that. So we are going to call him he throughout this program.
Right.
So, a big tirade. She's a man.
Well, it's so we know.
Well, yeah.
That
so
he is now a man, so it makes sense.
You know, Tyra's probably 30 by this point, right? Or at least has to be 30, correct?
Yeah.
If not,
yeah, at least.
Oh, I think, you know, when I was looking at Wikipedia, they said he was 32. So I'm really not sure where he's living. I thought this was New York. Maybe this is Paris. I'm not really sure where this was.
Bitch, I don't think it's Paris.
That's what I was like. I was like, how do you afford to go to Paris? But yeah, as you can see with this man here, you know, definitely not going for a look that is femme. So.
But it's so try hard because just because you no longer are doing drag, it doesn't mean all of a sudden it's just like,
and I think that's what this big thing, I feel like he feels he needs to blow it up all the time to prove he's a man or be masculine, or there's a lot that's compartmentalized with him, and I just don't understand why he can't really just appreciate all facets all of this, you know, because like you know, I do a lot of like gym stuff and hiking and all of that, and like that look for me is just very like what it is, the gym butch, and it reads that way, but that doesn't necessarily, like you said, you know, I love the bags, and you know.
Wait, are you trying to say that you're what were you getting at?
Well, my point of it was like there's very levels no matter where we are, you know, so and
yeah.
I see you have something to say. Why don't you speak on it?
I was just like, wait, is he trying to allude to the fact that he gives us boy masculinity vibes or something? I'm confused. Because this right here is a woman. I'm just like, no, I'm just kidding. No, yeah, you're right. No, there's definitely levels of femininity.
As I mentioned.
Or just in general gender.
Right, exactly. It's an illusion. So, as I mentioned, all the Tyra accounts have been deactivated. He's going under James Ross and this Create IV, or the fourth. I'm not sure what Roman initial that stands for. And he said, Ross, James Ross, you can call me Jay. You may refer to me as he, him, your majesty, or Zaddy.
Wow.
Lovely.
Zaddy, no less. He tried it.
So let me just stop here and say, all of that, I do not mind. Whatever you want to choose to be at this moment, you can. If you want to be a man, great. If you want to do drag, great. If you wanted to be trans, none of this is affecting my life in any way, shape, or form. So I'm not saying that he cannot go back to being a man. I'm kind of poking.
I mean, no, well, one thing we need to also make sure we point out that doing drag doesn't mean you don't identify with your gender that you were born as.
That's the difference,
if you will, trans or your cisgender.
Yeah,
doesn't mean you're cisgender. Yeah, you're not. Yeah, it doesn't make you any less cisgender just because you do drag, because it's form of expression. It's an art form.
Yeah, they had that British Scottish boy, on Drag Race UK, who was straight in the relationship with the girlfriend.
Well, he was bi, but yeah.
Well, you know what I'm saying. It's whatever, But what both of us take issue with is what comes next.
Yeah.
So, James Ross, aka formerly Tyra Sanchez, said, "When will you faggots learn I do what I want, not what you want me to do? You act as though this comes from nowhere. Every morning I wake up to your racist hate and I say nothing. I block you and keep moving. Today I have time. I am sick and tired of being sick and tired of white people leaving comments on my page, inboxing me hate every damn day. And don't fucking tell me there are more important issues to discuss right now when I've been screaming about those important issues for the last 10 years while you continue to send your racist hate daily." Now, wait, let's go on. There's more, so let's just read through the whole thing. And FYI, RuPaul Drag Race and World of Wonder have been silent for years about Black Lives Mattering. Don't for a second think they care about you. It's simply the trendy thing for them to do at this time. They are racist themselves. You don't fucking get it. I want absolutely nothing to do with your toxic community. Stop tagging me in your posts. Stop including me with your winners. Just forget me. Damn, is that so fucking hard to do? So
we already did forget you.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
This is,
first of all, it's Pride Month, and our show may be called Fags and Designer Tags, but that's because we have reclaimed the word fags. It's reclaimed. It's now a word that we use.
I thought about this a lot.
Gay community, huh?
For example, I tried to make a Facebook page for us, and you couldn't say fags in the word. And I was thinking about it a lot, and I was like, oh, is that the right thing? Is this the, and a few of the younger gays kind of took issue with the title of the show. But I'm like, if Larry Kramer can call a novel faggots, why can't we?
No. Well, here's the thing. I'm getting to the point of the distinction between the two, though. Faggots, that's a form of hate. That when you're using the word faggot, you're using it in a hateful way. But we've reclaimed fags as just as a word we use. We've reclaimed it much like the word queer.
Right. And
it's a little bit, queer is a little bit more used to describe, but I'm saying fag no longer is the same hate as faggots. When you're saying faggots, you're doing it in a hateful way. Now, fags, that's just something us in the community, we've reclaimed it to just use, like, oh, we're like, girl, us just as fags, and we use it as a kiki. But when you're saying faggots, you're using it in a hateful way.
Yeah, and especially that whole tirade was just ugly, from calling out Rue to, the community, this, that. It's just sad. It's just really, really, really sad to me. Rue is a type of person where, if you're really in her corner and you treat her, with dignity and respect, and, I'm not saying everybody has to bow down to her for giving her the crown or being on the show, and kiss at her feet, but we have seen it. We've seen people who rebel against Rue, like Tyra or Pearl, and, Chopped, it's not good, it's not pretty, but if you really stick by Rue will stick by you and bring you back for All Stars, bring you back for the Las Vegas show, bring you back in any type of, AJ and the Queen, bring you back to any type of opportunity.
But it's also just like, it's Pride Month. How could you knowingly put something out there and say use faggots in such a hateful way? Like, you literally, it was just like, it was your intention to be hateful to gays by using the word faggots like that. Like, you know, that was his intention.
Well,
like, and it's just like, and it's also like, are you not part of the community? So it's like all these things I'm just like flabbergasted that you would do, and especially during Pride Month.
And I know he has those 2 children. Until a moment ago, I thought he only had 1. I had not even really known until you told me that he did identify predominantly as gay, you know, the past decade or since Tyra's been around. But there's a lot of internalized homophobia. There's a lot of hate, you know, against white people.
Well, he spoke on it on his season, right?
No.
He said bye.
Oh, did he say bye?
I swore he said bye.
I watched it.
He just happened to have kids, yeah.
Yeah. But there's
or did he even say gay? I can't remember what he said for sure, but I just remember it was basically like he happened to have kids, but he does like men.
That statement just had so many gross statements within it. It was just very... You always get mad when I say this, but there's obviously something very psychologically wrong with some form of, you know, mental illness or something not quite being correct. It's almost like Trump, where it's like sociopathic and it's narcissistic at the same time, you know, and it's this perfect storm. Because like you said, do I think it's a coincidence that he just dropped this bomb on Pride Month? You know, no, not at all. You know,
but I mean, but still, it's more reason to not do it. I mean, it's getting him attention if that was his goal. But the thing is, Pride is not about using this to get attention. It's about us being proud that we're fucking gay.
Only that, how he mentioned that, you know, there's a lot of things going on in the world. You are the last thing we should be talking about right now. Like, we talk about a lot of POC issues on the show, but we're talking about it from personal experience, what we can do to make it better. You know, what needs more accountability.
Well, that's what I'm saying too. And then you have the nerve to be like, I've been talking about all these issues and stuff, and like trying to be a voice for like change, or trying that you think you're being a voice, but you always want to change. But then you're going to go back and say something homophobic like that and use it in a hateful way, which is what makes it worse. Like I said before, like, fag, you can call me a fag, and I'm just like, well, I mean, I am, and I like it, and I like the word, like, I like the word fag, like, I use it as a term, like I said, term of endearment. It's like, I've reclaimed it, we've reclaimed it. But when you use faggot, much like the N-word in the Black community, amongst the Black community, we'll sometimes call each other the N-word, but we'll say nigga. But when you add the ER, that's when the hate comes in. And that's how I see faggot. It's similar in that way.
It's
and that's how I know he was being hateful, but it's also just like, how are you hateful to a community that you're part of? So that's what I'm flabbergasted about.
Exactly. And you know, 2 of them. And, you know, I'm just thinking of really...
And you're 2 of them.
Of somebody who's, you know, trying to do change, Shea Coulee, you know, who makes a lot of, you know, powerful statements on her Instagram, who goes to speak, you know, at rallies. I've never seen Tyra speak at anything. You know, all I've seen her do is get this awful vitriol from the inside of her soul to the other drag queens, Rue, World of Wonder, DragCon, now this directed towards, you know, whomever, you know, and it's like, what is wrong with your soul? You know, what kind of message do you think you're sending to your children by just putting these hateful, like, dialogues and monologues out into the world? It's just so gross. So he has a new IG. It already has almost 25,000 followers.
That's the gag.
He hears him playing the guitar and getting a tattoo and grabbing his crotch. What was the word you used earlier?
When?
About it being so hard or being so extra. You kind of alluded to a word just earlier.
I did?
Yeah, you had a really good word. He's just going so hard with all of this. You know?
I can't remember the word.
Yeah, and then it says, James Ross, he, him, king. If fine was a person, I'm just too much for you. So I would be okay with this. You know, I wouldn't really, whatever. But on the Instagram, now he's coming for, I guess, I don't know what happened. I guess the older Instagram has now become the King's Tyra Sanchez here, because they said a moment ago the Tyra Sanchez accounts were down, but I guess some of them are still active. And
wait, what?
You need to correct this white man for his blackface. Y'all gonna defend him. Shame on you, Barefoot Wife, for supporting blackfishing at this time. Follow my new page creator.
Wait, also, is Raven a white man? I could have sworn he was Latino.
He's probably at least half. So
yeah, at least half.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, but it's also like, don't just...
and this is the whole thing that
identify him either.
about this whole thing is that like, I don't know who this person is who commented, but girl, the only thing who looks bad here is you giving your attention to another queen who don't give a shit about you. Why are you mad though? Just sit down and take your pills because you definitely need to calm down. And this is the thing with Tyra, as we've known from her history. She'll get into it with the other queen. She'll get into the person on the street. It's like, why are you putting all this out there? Why are you putting all this negativity and all this fighting and all of, you know, violence? It's just gross. It's just really, really gross. You know, Raven's just, there's nothing to really even speak on in this photo, you know, at all. You know, it's fine. And, you know, it's just, I'm just really upset she came for Raven like that. It was just very unnecessary. I don't think her and Raven had any sort of beef before.
True. Yeah, I don't know why she's coming for her.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so what's next? So yeah, always been crazy. Let's not forget, you know, Tyra has had her ups and downs. She's gotten huge fights with Morgan McMichaels, Tatiana. She threatened to throw up DragCon a few years ago. Oh, her real name is James Ross. So Tyra Sanchez, real name James Ross, who won the second season of RuPaul Drag Race in 2010, has become alienated for much of the drag queen over extreme online conduct. The performer fell out with the other fellow queens after texting a fan to kill themselves on Twitter, manufacturing a hoax death threat of contestant Morgan Michaels, and posting threatening on the show's annual convention, DragCon. The drag queen was reported to the FBI over a message posted about DragCon after getting banned from the event, having written, "Fair warning, do not attend RuPaul's DragCon on May 12, 2008. Don't say I didn't warn you." Because apparently there was some type of bomb threat and they had tied her to it. And
she was giving threat realness. They were like, that bitch is not coming anywhere near here.
I'm a threat. I'm threatening lies. I'm going to blow up the convention. I'm going to shoot the place. Never once did I say I was going to bomb or shoot anything or anyone. Never once did I threaten anyone, ellipses. Me, warning people not to attend the event because of racism I've experienced within its production company does not equate me to threatening someone's lives or the lives of events attendees. Again, a classic case of white people calling the cops on Black people because they aren't getting their way. Bomb squad show up to my house trying to inflict fear. Again, I do not back down. So once again, like you said, this like hardness, like I gotta, you know, it's like the hardness coupled with I'm always the victim, I'm always the martyr. When I'm like, if you look at the root of all this, you are the one who caused all of this for yourself. You know, you have nobody to blame but you for all the things that have happened to you, you know. So I don't think any of the girls have picked fights with her over the years. You know, from what I've seen from their responses, I can't remember everything. They've been pretty dignified. So it's just gross. It's just really, really gross. You know, she is definitely canceled for sure. This is the final cancellation.
Oh yeah, this is the last straw.
This is final.
I mean, she was already canceled before. Like I said, we made the decision for you to quit.
Yeah, I mean, this is like
you had no choice.
Final notice. You know, police. You know, notice taped to the door. Evict.
Right. You've been evicted, honey, from the community, especially after saying that hateful shit during Pride Month to your own community.
It's, you know, I get what you're saying by Pride Month. I 100% get it, but it would have been gross any month. It does not.
Well, it would have been gross any month, of course, but it's just like,
you know, what the
during Pride Month, I expect extra respect for the queer community, which is why I was extra annoyed with Trump doing all his fucking antics during Pride Month, because it's disrespectful. It's even more disrespectful during Pride Month.
And, you know, the other thing is Tyra may have not been the best. She may have not been the worst. You know, I'm talking about 210 season 2, but as we've seen, a lot of the queens have had the glow up, you know, and been supported, you know, along the way. Perfect example, Shangela, you know, who may have not been that polished, you know, in her first season, but really elevated herself, stuck by the community, you know, championed the community. Thus,
well, she never did anything wrong.
Well, I'm saying that if you would have been good to the community, drag, and the LGBTQI community at large, we would have been good to you. But Tyra has always had this confrontational thing for the 10 years she's been a winner about people are out to get her, racism, this, that, the other, and it didn't do her any favors. It didn't make her, even if she may have been the victim in some sense, she should have been like, this happened to me. It made me feel uncomfortable because, and even if there were issues within World of Wonder or the World of Rue, all of those people would have been willing to hear her out and hear what she had to say instead of coming for them online, coming with all this hateful messaging, the way, she could say what she want to say, but it did, sound that way, that she was planning some sort of more, nemesis type,
It was a threat. It sounded like a threat.
It sounded like a threat. You don't know what form that took, but you need to look into that seriously in one way or another. And at the same time, at that time where she did make that threat, it was the anniversary of Pulse. I think it was like a year afterwards. Mm-hmm. It was all within the same time frame. Like you said, she does these stunts whenever she knows she's going to get, when he's going to get attention. And so when it's canceled, it's done. You want to be a man, you want to live your life quietly, go do that. Nobody wants to hear from you.
Over you.
Nobody wants to hear from you.
But I mean, it's like I said, we've always been over you. So it's like.
Right. And I am willing to listen to anyone who has something to say or been victimized or feeling one particular type of way if we talk about it like we talk about things on this show, so don't come at it all loud and crazy and on 11 and the house is on fire about every little thing that has happened from, your issues with Morgan to Tatiana to DragCon to racism within the World of Wonder to, how people view, masculine.
What exactly was the issue with Morgan again?
I think it was just dumb infighting. She said she made up a rumor that Morgan had died because remember when she came back?
Oh yeah.
And she said, I look pretty good for a dead bitch. But Morgan turned that into gold. And she had her own funeral at Showgirls. And then she popped up out of the casket. And even Raven was there. I mean, the way Raven dressed for the funeral was so spot on. I mean, it was like it was filmed, even though it was just Showgirls West Hollywood. Lighting the prayer candle and praying to Morgan's altar. I mean, that was a stunt in the best way possible. We got to find that. We got to discuss that because it really was. And I think, Mayhem was involved in that show too, and all the big LA girls because Tyra was making such a stank, and they were like, "Oh, bitch, you want to see us come together? We're gonna put on a show for you."
Right.
Ain't nothing you want to do hold us down.
Right.
So, and I'm glad the girls banded together that way, as they should have.
They should have.
Because once again, those girls support one another.
Right.
And she job you want to perform too. And she didn't do that. She didn't understand sisterhood.
Right. It's like she could have, I wouldn't say come back, but if she started, and if she didn't do the shit she did, she could have been on the same level as all the other queens.
And she came out with a legitimate apology about a year ago saying, it was just too much, the fame and, just everybody's, comments about her really got to her. And it was very, I thought at that time it was very heartfelt, but then she comes out with this and it's just done. This is just.
Well, I was going to say, because I don't know if she even could come back even after having that apology though. Yeah. Like, I still don't know because it's still like, no, like there's been so many other new queens. It's like, well, we don't need her. So it's like, but I'm saying she wouldn't be, she might not have been, like now she's just chopped. Like she's just chopped.
Well, I'll tell you this will be the last time I ever say Tyra Sanchez's name.
Basically.
That's it.
Basically.
Really, it needs to just be a blackout at this point. The way that Rue has blacked, her out, blacked out Miss Catfish, that, hi. There are just some people who need to be chopped and never heard from again. And Sherry's done herself a favor by being quiet, and not trying to play the victim card. So,
but it's almost like it makes you wonder. It's like, did he do this? He was just like in his way. He's gonna get more attention. Like it does. It's like, is it a stunt actually?
Yeah. And you know, and that's
like, I mean, it's definitely a stunt, but it's like, I really hope that what is your end goal with this stunt?
Right, exactly. But that's why I'm hoping that people really stop talking about it, stop writing about it, stop, you know, comments. I mean, just a total blackout cancel is the only thing to get this to really, really stop, because it just you know, you feed the beast. It's like Trump. The more attentions he gets, the more it feeds the ugliness that is seeped in his soul. So it's the same thing, Tyra. The more attention he gets, the more whatever, you know, kicks he gets out of it, the more, you know, he feels that fire. And it's just done. Canceled. Final bill. Final notice. Done.
I can't wait to see what the other queens start saying.
I really actually hope they don't say anything. I really do. I hope they I really just hope they ignore the whole thing, because
Raven should just ignore him too.
Yeah, there's just, you know, and that's the thing. I think Raven will, because Raven's a grown woman. You know, she knows what to ignore and what to engage in, and this is definitely not the nonsense that she needs to engage in.
That's true.
So I really hope Raven ignores it. But if she doesn't, still support her, still love her.
Yeah.
Hope that she does, because we need to pay no attention, no mind to any of this.
True. I mean, sometimes you do need to get the person together. Sometimes you ignore. Sometimes you need to get the person together. It could go either way.
We would have talked about this in private. We just happened to record it. You know, it's like there's no way we wouldn't have talked about it. But No.
But I mean, sometimes you still need to read the source together, like get them together.
Right.
And like, you know, sometimes too. So it's like sometimes you do need to respond to. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'm more of like the Buddhist, you know, way of thinking of, you know.
Honestly, girl, I'm not the Buddhist way. I might be like, look here, you. So I might. So that's why I'm just like. That's why I'm kind of like, well, actually, do what you want to do, Raven, because I'm not going to judge, because I might have handled it the dirty way.
Yeah, you know, if Tyra like accidentally, you know, slips and falls and cracks her head open, would I be sad? No. Well, I'd be sad for her kids, but you know, one less hateful, ugly person in the world.
Okay. That's true. Oh, honey. But that was some tea.
Let us know your comments, because this is a very hot button topic. So let us know your comments in the YouTube. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to like. Make sure to post this video to all your social media platforms, because we definitely want to hear what your thoughts are.
Yeah, subscribe. Listen. Let us know. Subscribe. Yes.
Feed the beast.
You heard it here, you guys. All that tea.
Okay, so All-Stars 5 next.
All-Stars 5 next. Bye, guys.
All right.